Good morning, everybody. So as you all know, on October 14th, we had a shooting across the street from Robinson High School. Two teenage girls decided that they were going to have a fist fight in the parking lot of the apartment complex across the street before they went to school that day. The fist fight was actually over a marijuana purchase. Imagine that from teenagers. But anyway, the victim in this case had been arguing with this other girl, and as the victim in the shooting left the fight to go across the street to school, she got shot one time in the back by an unknown suspect at the time. The suspect was wearing a ski mask, so it was difficult to obviously make a photo pack identification or a witness identification. We obtained leads, and our detectives tirelessly worked this case like it was, they just worked endlessly on it, and they identified a suspect. The suspect's mother was very cooperative, obviously, since her son is going down the very wrong path, and they let the detectives search her apartment. In the apartment, they found a firearm. The firearm matched the shell casing that was found at the scene of the shooting. When confronted with that fact, the suspect confessed to the shooting. He is also 16 years old, and now his life is forever changed. 16-year-old Terrence Jones is charged with second-degree attempted murder with a firearm, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and aggravated battery with great bodily harm. The point I want to make about this case is that this 16-year-old boy's life is forever changed because he made a very, very bad decision. The 17-year-old victim's life is forever changed because she got shot in the back. These children that are making these bad decisions cannot take these decisions back. But the other point to reference is that these detectives solved this violent case within 4 days of it happening. And I think that that's important for the community to know, that we are working tirelessly and we are working with great urgency in order to keep the community safe. Now switching gears to last night's homicide. Shortly after 8:30 p.m. last night, Tuesday night, October 18th, we responded to McDonald's at 4009 North Armenia in Tampa Bay. There in the parking lot, we found a 16-year-old male, deceased, shot once, we believe, to the upper body. And next to him is a firearm in the parking lot. Another child with a gun, deceased. Detectives spoke with witnesses at the scene, and they described the victim with some other juveniles and a vehicle driving by the McDonald's, and the people in the vehicle and the people in the McDonald's parking lot are exchanging gunfire. After the deceased falls in the parking lot, his three friends run away and leave him there in the parking lot. What we have found out since then is that this 16-year-old deceased individual is a suspect in an armed robbery that we're currently investigating. So again, another child making a very bad decision with firearms. The cause of the shooting and the beef between the vehicle, the occupants of the vehicle, and the suspects at the McDonald's is unknown at this time. We don't know what the argument is about. Obviously, this just happened. But we are appealing to the public for anyone who has any information to call Crime Stoppers if they remain to remain anonymous, or let Tampa PD know what they know. Because at the end of the day, we can't have this violent crime going on at 8:30 at night on a weeknight at a busy intersection where there's people going to a fast food restaurant. The other thing is going back to the shooting across the street from Robinson High School, is that the victim's parents were cooperative in that. We need the community to know that children and a gun are a very bad mix. So we need parents to know that if they have a firearm in their home, to make sure it doesn't get into the hands of their children, Make sure it's secured. Search your children's backpacks. Search your children's rooms. Make sure that these firearms are not ending up in the hands of children that really can't make good decisions with a gun. And I think if we as a community do better in regards to checking after our children, I think that we can get a handle on the violent crime, especially in these two cases. But make no doubt about it, Tampa PD has zero tolerance for gun violence in this city. Zero. And if you commit a crime with a gun in the city of Tampa, we are going to find you and we're going to arrest you. Thank you. Any questions?
Chief, how confident are you that the victim of South Manhattan is going to survive?
I'm very confident that she's going to survive. The wounds, thankfully, were relatively minor. She had to undergo surgery. She is going to be fine, thankfully. We don't know what, a firearm gunshot to the back could do, but in this case, she's going to be fine.
When it comes to the second shooting at McDonald's, you say that the victim is a suspect in another very serious case.
Correct.
Can you make the determination that this is retribution for the first one?
Not yet. It's too early to tell. So we do know that there was a group of him and his, we assume friends that left him there as he's laying dead in the parking lot, and another vehicle had occupants in it and they were firing at each other. We know he's a suspect in an unrelated, as far as we know right now, armed robbery that happened about a week ago. But that's all unraveling as we speak. And I'd like to put all that together for you. What we need to let the public know is that we don't have any correlation that these are related. But he was in the parking lot with a firearm next to him, so clearly his intent for whatever he was doing last night was not good.
Chief, when we talk about the work shading the entire parking lot to cars, do you have any legal description or any idea how many people were in that?
Not yet. We're trying to work on that. Just like a lot of these cases, as you guys know, Tampa PD has solved a lot of our cases very, very quickly recently. The Lit nightclub that we had down here where the shooting happened last weekend, we solved that within 48 hours. So we are going to work throughout the day to identify a vehicle description, a suspect description, and get that to you via video. I'm assuming at that busy intersection, there's going to be businesses that have video cameras.
And do you guys, have you been able to talk to any of the victims' friends that were with this all?
No, not yet. They ran off, and we don't even have them identified of who they were. We just know that he was with a group of 3 other people.
In both cases, do you know how the juveniles were able to obtain these firearms?
Yeah, we know in the first case that the firearm belonged in the apartment that the juvenile lived with his sister and his mother. So I'm assuming it belonged to the mom. She was cooperative and she let us search. We found the firearm and it matched the ballistics. Which is why I think parents need to be cognizant of the fact that their kids can get their guns and do bad things with them. The gun last night that was used, we don't have, and the gun in the parking lot, we're still looking into where that came from.
Are any of these kids in school? What do they do with their time other than this?
The kids at Robinson should have just gone to school that day. I think solving a dispute with a firearm changes the lives of everybody involved for the worse. And if we could have just gotten those children into school that day without bringing guns to a dispute, we would be in a much different position right now, just like last night.
Last question?
What was the relationship between the person who did the shooting and the people involved in the argument? In other words, why was this person so invested in it?
Apparently the dispute was over a marijuana purchase. So not only are they bringing guns to a dispute, they're also drug dealing.
But between the people, they're just angry over
There's-
there's no family relationship.
as far as we know, no family relation between the shooter and the victim. Thanks, everybody.